it's Grace from Around the Ozarks, and Route 66 is a living time capsule of America's love for the open road, and a lot of it is here in Springfield. So I am with Executive Director Sean FitzGibbons of the History Museum on the Square to talk about their latest exhibit. So hi, Sean.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is the fourth exhibit of the museum's Route 66 series. It's called Roadside Gems. What makes Roadside Gems different from the others?
Yeah, so this year is the fourth of five, right? Mm-hmm. So the first one was Order Up, which was the restaurants and diners and all the quintessential like places to eat, right? Then we had Service with a Smile, which were the service stations along Route 66. And this is the History Museum's mission is to tell the stories of Springfield, Greene County. So these are like the restaurants of Springfield, Greene County, the service stations, not gas stations.
Yeah.
I made that error in front of a crowd.
Oh, wow.
But service stations, not gas stations. And then we had hotels, motels. It was checking in, hotels, motels of Route 66. And so those kind of captured the place to eat, the place to service your car and gas up, and to stay and sleep, so to recharge, food, fuel up, all that. And so this one is really highlighting the why. Like, why do you do a road trip when instead of flying, or back when road trips were just getting started? So this exhibit kind of goes through all of the cultural attractions. So the zoo, the caves, the theaters, all those different places that you would get out of your car and stop, and not necessarily stuff that you need to do, but the why.
Yeah, the fun stuff. The fun stuff.
Yeah.
Are there any other types of cultural gems or anything that these people were really wanting to see through Springfield?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Fantastic Caverns, like I mentioned, that was a huge, still is a huge tourism draw. But really, I mean, Route 66 and taking that drive, right? The journey is the destination, kind of, right? So as people came through, Shrine Mosque was another big one. That's Elvis played there, and all those. It was the largest auditorium for a while west of the Mississippi.
Wow. So
there was a lot to see, a lot to do here in town. You could catch a Cardinals game back in the 30s, that kind of thing. So there was so many different. When we started this, we were like, okay, we have the second largest fork, right? The world's largest rocking chair out of Rolla or whatever. But like, we started opening up, like, what defines a cultural attraction? And then we were like, well, stadiums, theaters, all these really cool things that were here in Springfield that we get to highlight.
So was there like one attraction or story that really surprised you whenever you were curating all of this?
Yeah. So first of all, just the breadth of what the definition of cultural attraction is. We kind of talked about that. But one of the biggest, going through the photos, it wasn't necessarily one of the attractions that were the surprise itself. But what really surprised me was how at the zoo, years ago, how close you could get to these animals.
Oh, really?
You can feed a giraffe now at Dickerson Park Zoo, but just some of these photos, these little kids are like holding on to elephant trunks, and like there's nothing other than like a handrail between the families and these elephants, or all these other. So just like that surprised me. I guess it was way before people were more litigious than they
cared about safety a little bit more.
But just how up close and personal they were with these animals was quite surprising.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell my son that because he would wish that he could hold on to the elephant's trunk.
When can I ride that one?
Yeah, please. You're working with some incredible artifacts and photos for this exhibit. Is there anything that's really your favorite? What is your favorite thing, or something that captures the spirit of Route 66?
Captures the route. Yeah. So we have a section on like racetracks and auto racing. It was huge and it's still big in Springfield, but it used to be a really big deal here in town. And so I guess when you're talking about the literal spirit of Route 66, like tires on the pavement kind of spirit, like that just captures the love of riding in a car, driving cars, and but I guess like if you have like the other aspect of that, not so literal, would be just going through and seeing all of it's kind of surprising the caves and the caverns. Like that's when you do Route 66 or when you do road trips. Part of that is getting out and seeing what's unique to that space, right? So if you live up in the Pacific Northwest or in Florida or something, coming through Springfield, one thing that is unique to our to the Ozarks are the amount of caves and caverns that we have. So having people seeing these old photos of people experiencing fantastic caverns, Sequiota, really kind of captures that moment of what it means to be on a road trip, experiencing that place that you're just driving through. Yeah.
So a lot of these are obviously still around today. Which ones could we go visit right now if we wanted to?
Yeah, right now, Shrine Mosque is there. So many of these theaters. The Electric Theater right on the square is now the Fox. Landers Theater, Gilloy's. So
lots
many
theaters.
Lots of theaters, right? Sadly, the Jewel Theater is no longer there. That's where Ozark Jubilee was broadcast nationwide. And of course, the caves and caverns, they've been there for millions of years.
So this exhibit is leading up to the centennial of Route 66. How does this chapter help set the scene for that celebration next year?
Sure. So yeah, it rounds out the four parts that we talked about earlier: the food, the sleep, the car service, and now the why of road trips. So next year, we're going to have a recap, and that is going to bring all of those things together. We're going to expand on a couple things, but really that will enable us to tell the full story of Route 66, and specifically here in Springfield. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to really get into the whole reason as to why. I mean, people from internationally are going to be driving through Springfield, and to have them hopefully stop at the History Museum and see that that while Route 66 is important for Americana, Springfield is important for Route 66. It's the birthplace. We named the Route 66 was named in Springfield. So highlighting how significant Springfield was to Route 66, which was significant culturally, nationwide, internationally, is exciting, and we're looking forward to presenting that next year.
Yeah. All right. To wrap it up, if you could take one Route 66 trip, any era, any destination, what would your dream trip look like?
I have to be honest, I thought way too hard about this question. I would probably say I would get my family together and we'd start in Chicago and do the whole thing, and it would be in one of those wood panel 1960s, like precursor to the SUV. Load up the family and the dogs, and I would say probably mid to late 60s. That's when road trips were just taking off, and the national, like Kerouac had just written On the Road in 57, Easy Riders coming out in 1969. And so ending the trip in Santa Monica, Venice Beach in the late 60s would be, I mean, you see Jim Morrison and Ray Manzarek talking about the Doors. Or the Z Boys inventing skateboarding. Like it would, that would just ending there, and it would be amazing.
That would be amazing. So whether you're a history buff, or you love Route 66, or you're just looking for an adventure, it sounds like Roadside Gems at the History Museum is calling your name. So Sean, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you.
If you want any more info, you can go to historymuseumonthesquare.org, and maybe it's time for an adventure.